Oh, hello everyone. Uh, Give me a moment. Camera issues as per usual. Yeah, there we go. How is that working like that? What?
It's a magic.
Well, that is a thing that's occurring. So you can't see me, it would seem. Um,
What would would be without us having technical issues in our first day back?
that is accurate. This was working before, I promise.
While Jason's working on this, hey everybody, we're back. Welcome back to Dice and Dynamics, where we don't know what the fuck we're doing, but it's really fun to pretend.
That's a great.
Right? I love that. I'm gonna do that if I can every time.
Do it.
So we're doing Descent into Avernus, which is obviously homebrewed out of Jason's mind because this is Jason we're talking about. So this season, this chapter, this adventure, Jason is going to be our DM. Our lovely Fish is going to be a player. So we're excited about that because Fish is a great person. One of the best DMs I've had next to Jason. So I'm glad to have gone through that, and I know everybody else is. So we're doing this Descent into Avernus, which is obviously kind of by the book, but knowing Jason, not by the book. And it is persistent in our campaign of 5 years in our world. So Kobold's still there. Who else is in there? Shago's still here. We still have Shago. Soul is still in here. Cole is still here. Everybody from all the campaigns prior to now that we've played as characters, even in our, random multi-shot thing where we all talk to each other, that is still there. So, yeah. So we don't know who we're going to see because Jason hasn't told us shit.
He has been very, very secretive about everything.
He's been very busy. So as you see, if you look around us on our stream, we have a new layout. We decided to up our game a little bit and get better. And yeah, we did. And
I am arrive.
And this is our DM, and I'm gonna let him take it. Go ahead, Jason.
All right. So, welcome back to Dice and Dynamics, kids. As Mark so eloquently put, we are playing Baldur's Gate: Descent into Avernus, the hardback module, with modifications made by myself to actually make it coherent and playable. So, Chris Perkins, if you're listening, pay attention. With that, are you guys ready to jump in?
No. Vibrating. I'm ready.
Nope. Any last save rounds?
Whatever happens, I love you guys.
It's going to be fun. Let's get it.
Baldur's Gate, the Grey Harbor, massive metropolis at the heart of the Lord's Alliance, a powerful collective of city-states along the Sword Coast. 1493 has represented a hard year for the city. The plague of the Death Curse ravaged much of the upper leadership of the Lord's Alliance, and one of its military arms, the Flaming Fist. The plague, coupled with an influx of refugees from all over Toril, crushed what little hold the Dukes of the Gate had over the city. The murder-worshipping cults that often stayed deep in the sewers below the city streets have become emboldened by the Death Curse, worshipping it for its power over death, and beginning a brazen string of murders in perverse reverence to their respective gods. With these trying times, Duke Ulder Ravengard, the Grand Duke of the Gate, has supposedly left the city, traveling west to Elturel in hopes to rally support of the Holy City to handle this crisis. And that is where we will open, where we find our heroes standing on Worm's Crossing in the shadow of Worm's Rock. The primary way to cross over to the opposite side of the Shianthar River, which Baldur's Gate abuts. The crossing has been cleared out by the Flaming Fist, and it has been serving as a refugee housing and processing station, but remains the only way to get between the north and south banks of the river in this area. the Flaming Fist heavily patrolling the docks and river to ensure that there are no unauthorized crossings. This is where we find our heroes. This is where we find our heroes, standing in the pouring rain with the other residents of the city, trying to get from bank to bank when as you all look around you, and we will get into general descriptions of your character here in a second, the characters who are not player characters who are surrounding you, you are being watched in a group of individuals who have been trying to pass over Worm's Crossing. You're either intending to get into Baldur's Gate or leave Baldur's Gate. And with you are two guards. They look to be very young, possibly just joined, like 18 years old. Two guards in Flaming Fist black tabards with sort of the aggressive red and yellow triangle of the Flaming Fist symbol with the big red fist in the middle. They don't appear to be paying you much mind, aside from it appears to be their task to watch over your group. In addition, there is a somewhat tall, red-haired woman who appears to have been carrying or struggling with several baskets. And then, in addition to her, there is a sort of portly gentleman with a handlebar mustache who is sort of finicking with this box that has been modified to be carried on his back. And he also has a umbrella, which he is somewhat willing to share, but has mostly been protecting the box. And with that, why don't we run down the list of who you guys are and what brings you here to Baldur's Gate?
Who's going first? Fuck it. Fuck it. I'll do it.
Let's go.
So what you see before you is a very pale skin looking elf. Sam's having issues. Long black hair. It is tied up in a ponytail right now. You do see you see a scar going across the side of his face and one on his other cheek. He has a satchel on. What you see on him for the most part is two short swords, two daggers. One of the short swords has a raven feather hanging off of it. Look to be has beads connecting to it, so it's hanging there freely. And I believe that's it. He looks to be a very calm person for what he's holding. Kind of relaxed to the world. It's very off-putting for the fact that he is a very pale person compared, and he does have the elf ear, so he is a descendant of an elf. Go ahead.
I think standing kind of close to the handlebar man, ever since it started raining and they've been in his company, this remarkably short, kind of muscular but a lot of fat tiefling woman has been there with the distinct red skin, very now frizzy red hair. She's got like long ears that kind of part the curls, and she's dressed as simply as one can, but very much accessories everywhere. Her fingers all have rings, her rings have rings, she's got earrings, her long horns have caps on them, and her makeup is like running down her face, and she's basically carrying like an apartment with her. She's got like an overstuffed bag, she's got her arms full of like now sopping fabric, and she hasn't been happy. She There has been nothing but complaints. um she had just got done waving a newspaper with the week weather report, saying that it had lied to her, and she has not been taking anything. If there's been a positive mood, she squashed it.
Standing probably between the short tiefling and the man with the boxes is a drow. A drow. And he is dressed very sleekly, very much to accent his body. His jewelry is not as ostentatious or as many as the tieflings. It's more accents to make certain features pop on purpose. He has his own umbrella that he's kind of propped on his shoulder, and his face is just impassive. He seems to have just been listening to the complaints of the tiefling woman and studying the people around him and the situation at hand.
All right.
And then sort of standing slightly away from everyone is a short dwarven lady with a little goatee and pretty nice, well-maintained sideburns and a long braid that has gotten a little bit frizzy in the rain as well, is standing with a well over 6-foot mechanical humanoid-looking thing who is carrying an umbrella. It's very My Neighbor Totoro.
All right. With that, as you've all sort of taken in the group around you, you hear the man struggling with the box exclaim. He gets frustrated and he says, "If these flaming fascists are going to keep us here for another hour, we might as well get to know each other, huh?" And he'll sort of motion around to the nearest person and will extend his hand to the tiefling woman and say, "Wallace Redmond of Redmond and Son Butcher Shop. Nice to meet you."
It's very nice to meet you too. Jeremina Isabel Canis. I'm a seamstress, and she'll look over his hand, wipe hers down the front of her shirt, trying to shake off the water, and she'll fuck it. And she'll snap her fingers and she'll briefly dry, and then put her hand in his and like shake it as quickly as she can before the rain gets them.
Okay. Oh, and it's nice to meet you. It's fairly unfortunate. You think that by now they would have figured this out?
I'm right. I mean, it is so easy to just like at least temporary housing, a barn system, I don't know, something, right? Just something.
Yeah.
I hate the rain.
Same, and I'm running out of dry ice. This was supposed to be for a client, and it's probably going to spoil. And think I'm going to give reimbursed? No. And we'll sort of point. Who else is inconvenienced by this?
I have to say that personally, I find it mildly annoying, but honestly, the worst part's the waiting. The weather can be handled. What was your name again, sir?
Wallace Redmond of Redmond and Sons Butcher Shop. My joint. And you are?
Silkes Osmond. And he like holds his hand out very daintily is not a good word for it, but it's in a way that says if you shake my hand for more than 3 seconds, it's going to get real awkward.
He is insightful enough to know that he will be gentle. He does have very large hands that sort of would almost envelop most like medium-sized humans. He's almost a caricature of a butcher in a way, and he will shake and say, "So, pleasure to meet you." And he'll point over at the woman who's sort of juggling with these baskets, and she'll say, "Genevieve Topwell, baker, and yes, my ingredients have gotten a bit soiled. I'm not pleased about it." And he'll say,
If you like,
Question. Oh, no. Please, you first, Silkas.
I was going to say, would you like me to hold a box or two? It's not much dry under here, but it is at the least damp.
"Oh, sure." She'll sort of double check what's in what and hand you a reasonably heavy basket.
He takes it in his hand and holds on to it. Slight strain. This boy only has 10 strength.
Elf boy.
That's not nice.
Yes.
Who are you? You've been standing quiet there.
he'll just take his hand and run it through his hair, just watch the water drop, and just mix with the rest of the puddle. The name is Olin. That's it.
Okay. Do you want to switch spots? You're getting the full brunt of the rain.
No, I'm good. It's no different than walking.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you got your swords right there, and I know how hard it is to clean up swords after the rain.
Oh no, we're good. The clerics they always give me towels. I'm fine.
Okay. But you say the word if you want to switch. You say the word, and that being said, do I know you? And she's pointing at Marty.
Not to my knowledge. It's
Well,
nice.
yeah.
I'm Marty Trunig of Gimbal and Sons. Not related.
I cannot hear you. You are.
Oh.
There is a mountain between us with the rain, and this guy's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Marty sort of like scurries a little bit forward, kind of holding up her own umbrella to sort of go above Jeremina.
Oh, don't worry about that. Damage is already done, and I've been hogging under Wallace's.
No, you're all good. My name is my name is Marty. Martha called Marty Taronik, clockmaker. Oh, and this is EV3. It is my companion, or yeah, I'm figuring out a name for it still.
Oh, no, that's good. Hold that thought, Marty. I'll get back to you in a second. Wallace, I had a question.
Yeah. There's no way the Flaming Fist letting you walk around with that large metal thing without a permit.
I do have
absolutely.
a permit.
Oh, well. Yes, Jeremy.
Are you the father or the son of the butcher thing?
Both. Generational business.
Oh, okay. How old are you?
45.
45. That's a really good age to be.
At this point, you see one of the young guards sort of reach over to his friend and sort of tap him on the shoulder and motions further down the bridge. And you see coming out from a smaller door in the large sort of gate style doors that sit at the end of either side of Worm's Crossing. A small retwin of Flaming Fist soldiers. You can tell that they are important people. unlike the two guards that are standing in front of you, the person who is leading the group has a flaming fist tabard on, but you can see the gleam in the pauldrons of his armor. It is very well maintained and may even very well be magical. And the group walks up to another small little holding group similar to the one that you're being held in here behind these two guards. And the captain with the gleaming pauldrons speaks with the guards, and as this discussion starts, you see emerging from that small little door what was a sort of hunched figure, which then stands up full bore to about 8 or so feet, and it is for some who may have never been adventuring or never been to a locale that would have any really sort of monstrous individuals in it, you may be quite taken aback because it is a minotaur who is wearing the tabard of the flaming fist and dragging behind him a morning star that's attached to like a spiked chain, and it is clearly quite heavy because he's choosing to drag it. And he sort of pulls up behind the captain as the captain is discussing with the two guards at the further group. And you hear Wallace say, "It's about time." Oh, and he sort of counts. He's like, 2, 3 groups. We're gonna be out of here soon. Oh my God, thank you.
What does the Minotaur symbolize?
I think it's a show of force thing. And one of the guards will turn around and will say, "That's Flame Okeb. He's really close friends with the captain. Basically, his personal executioner." And he says this with like a vibe like that is cool.
So yeah, how did they meet? Do you know, like, I mean, you know,
I-
you know?
It's like one of those things where you hear a bunch of stories and all of them sound fake, but I'm sure there's reality in some of them.
I'm familiar with those kinds of stories, yes.
Olin is just staring, and quietly to himself he goes, "I've never seen a goat that big."
Well, that'd be like a bowl, a bowl, a bu,
A bull?
a bowl. Yeah, a bowl, a bu. A
No,
cow.
that is no bull. I have one back at my room.
You have a
Oh,
bowl?
you have a...
I mean,
Oh,
I mean,
y'all are killing me.
Wallace will say, I mean, he's right. It's not a bull. Butcher, again. Just,
Y'all know exactly what I'm trying to say. A bull. Yeah, it's
B-U-L-L, it's 2 L's, yes.
yeah. Thank you.
so it is at this point where the guard that was speaking to you all sort of disengages and goes back to watching further down, and you very quickly hear a escalation, and there seems to be shouting, and the two guards that are like sort of guarding the group that the captain is in front of, they grab somebody and sort of drag them out of the group and toss them down on the ground. And you see the Minotaur just sort of hook his arm up and over, the chain pulls, and the big old ball comes, and there is a otherworldly splatting sound as the individual that was thrown to the ground is just sort of crushed and sort of.
Jesus.
And you hear Wallace go, "Oh, Oh,
What? Did he have contraband? Did he look at somebody funny?
the guard will say he was probably a cultist.
Silkes is going to side eye this flaming fist guard and then look back and say,
You know,
Well-
cultists, they can be anywhere. But none of us are cultists. I mean, especially not Olin. You said your name was Olin?
Yes, Olin.
Yeah, you're at the church. I'm, Lathander Fearin.
Oh, I have no affiliations.
Yeah, hey, no affiliations, better than a bad affiliation. And I'm sure Marty here is also
A member of the House of Gond.
yeah, member of the House of God. Exactly what I was thinking.
That checks out.
Yeah.
it-
Is it okay to look over yet?
No, the rain isn't doing a good job of washing it out. Do you want
Is-
to?
Good.
His head is still there.
Do you want to, Marty? Do you want to move? You know what? Why don't you stand a little bit in front of me? That way, I can tell you what, because it's bad. And it
Three.
smells.
Oh, yes. Oh, he pointed out. Oh, gosh, that's just a smell. Thank you. Yes, excuse me. She kind of sort of squeezes over to behind Jeremina. Oh, does anyone, some of those boxes look heavy. Did anyone want, EV3 to carry anything?
Oh no, I'm good. It's my exercise for the week. Thank you though.
Of course. It's always happy to help.
So what's everyone doing? Are we leaving? Are we going? Well, I can assume that Wallace and Genevieve are going back inside for business. I'm going inside to meet my lawyer.
I am going in at the behest of, I think, Silver Shield, was it? Yeah.
Oh, Silver Shield. That prestigious. And what? Pray tell, what?
I heard the lady of the estate was betrothed to the Grand Duke. That's the scuttlebutt, anyways.
Well,
Isn't
Hmm?
Oh no, I was gonna say, isn't the Grand Duke a little up there in age?
Oh, at this point, Genevieve will sort of poke her head in and say, and she'll look over at the guards and say, "I'm not really supposed to say anything, but the cake that I was trying to get into town to bake was a sample for a potential event between the Grand Duke and Lady Silvershield. But he's not that up there in age. He's late 50s.
Do you think he carries it well? I'm early 50s, but you can't tell, right? None of y'all can tell.
oh, not at all. Not at all.
Absolutely not.
Well, he's still in, what I would call, good shape. And at this point, one of the guards will turn around and say, he still fights. And then turn right back around.
Yeah, still fights. I wouldn't want the flaming fist. The high standards, especially if you're Grand Duke.
And what about you, Olin, Marty? Why are you both?
I'm just heading back into town. I live here and work here all of my life.
And Olin?
Jason, that's the same for him, right?
I mean, yeah, because the temple with the clerics and stuff inside it would be inside the city.
Okay. I just go back to sleep. The temple's in there.
I was concerned you had been woken. Never mind.
No, I wake up myself.
But why do you leave the city? Does it have something to do with your swords?
No, I usually go to take a walk just to try to remember.
Remember what?
Uh, you see him get a little sheepish about it. He goes, "Who I am."
Oh, I understand what you
Yeah.
mean. You know, we all have to take walks to remember who we are. That's
He's just
good.
gonna nod, thinking you understand.
So this looks between. I think he means he has amnesia, Jeremina.
Oh,
It is at this point that that you hear a voice followed by the fall of heavy footsteps, and you hear, well, well, well. Now, what do we have here?
Oh my god!
And
Oh my fucking god.
you look up and you see, dwarfed by this minotaur behind him, the gleaming pauldrons of the captain. From further on down the way, it seems that he has made his inspections of the some of the other groups and has eventually made it to yours. There seem to have been no more public executions, just the one, and he is now here addressing your group. And he's sort of looking you all over, and he'll say, well, now, this is not something I thought I would find today. Look at this, a group of adventurers. Ain't that fun?
Oh, I don't adventure.
I don't adventure, but
I'm a seamstress.
You hear that? Okay, they don't adventure. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. No, now listen, the last time I saw a tiefling, a
Oh
Huh.
my god!
two elves, a dwarf, and a large metal man, I'm gonna tell you, that there was an adventuring company, and frankly, if you don't look like the spitting image of Drizzt Undron, and he'll point at you, Olin.
Olin's gonna like look at everyone else, be like, "Who's that?"
He was. Have you read the book? You know what? But you, once we get, it's a book thing.
I read those.
I also read them.
All right, this is fun and all. You there, butcher and baker. I'm gonna need to see your work permits. And sort of they like produce some paperwork, and he will look at, and he sort of nods, and Genevieve will take back the basket from you, Silkez, and both of those will get inspected by members of the Retwin with the captain. And then he will, once Wallace and Genevieve have sort of been ushered on to pass through the gate to get into the city, he will turn back to all of you and will say, now, unless y'all are candlestick makers, I'm gonna need to see some of that identification. I'd like to see your adventurer's license, please.
uh, It doesn't have an adventurer's license, but he does have the letter he was given to deliver to the Silver Shield estate. And so he takes that from his breast pocket and he holds it up. I don't have an adventurer's license, but I'm meant to deliver this to the Silver Shield estate.
Do you have a courier's license?
I do not.
Now that's going to be a problem, isn't it? That's going to be a problem. Whew. Oh boy. Anybody else? Does anybody else have some sort of task that they need to do in the city?
I would-
I've got a. You go first, Olin.
Oh, Olin was just going. I assume Olin has like a trinket or something to show that he's part of. He goes to the temple, so he's just going to show that as his pass.
Well, hot damn, you work at the Gond restaurant. Big fan of the animatronics. Love it.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Don't we love it there? Okay, happy hour. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Okay, anybody else got some fun excuses before we really get things started here?
Yes, actually, I have my letter of introduction from the Tinkerers Guild, and my permit for my automaton, which I have. It's in here somewhere.
All right. We'll see some documentation. That's what I like to see. And he will take the paperwork and look over it, and you kind of hear him sort of suck through his teeth and be, I don't quite know if this is quite right. I'm gonna have to, send this out to get this looked at.
What do you mean it's not right?
I don't know. It just doesn't quite look right to me. Sorry. There's not that many automaton. I don't see this type of paperwork every day. I'm so sorry.
Perfectly valid. I used it to get out of here.
Oh darn. Well, I'll just have to call on somebody. Oh man, this is so unfortunate, isn't it? What about you? And point at you, Jeremina.
Oh, me? Well, I've got a lot. If you give me, what is your name? We just happen to sound so similar. I gotta know where you came from. Was it the Dales?
The name is Captain Zodge. My family's from the Dales.
Oh, that's real good. Not my husband, soon to be ex-husband. Don't worry. And she's just gonna give a wink and kind of, as she's like rifling through her bag. It is so funny. Now, my ex-husband, wasn't from the Dales, but one of his friends was. Now, his friend came from the part where the horses came from, and would you look at that? I don't got my permit.
Oh, well, darn. What is it that brings you to Baldur's Gate all the way from the Dales?
Well, I actually come from Luskin.
Oh, well.
I'm here to meet a lawyer.
Oh, well, that's excellent, because as things are going, you are gonna need a lawyer.
He sure is. Sure am. Fuck.
All right. Well, this has been real unfortunate, if I'm honest. This is not how I like to go about my day, but I'm gonna need you all to come with me.
All right.
Silk has his eyes flit to the Minotaur, and he just gives a curt nod.
Sort of look around. All right. So sorry to hear about your friend King Battlehammer, Mr. Juraxel. Real sad, pointing at you, Silkas. And he'll sort of turn around and will wave you all on to follow him.
Oh, boy.
Olin doesn't go because he thinks he's all set, so he's just going to wait for the group to walk away, so then he can travel on his own.
basically, the Minotaur will stay behind and will place a very meaty hand on your shoulder to make sure that you follow along.
So, did he just imply that something happened to Jaraxel?
No, he implied that you were Jaraxel. He was profiling you.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was being racist.
That's exactly what I heard.
I've been waiting so long to play this character.
As they're walking forward, Jermina's gonna kind of move beside Sulkez and gently tap his shoulder, reaching up to do so, and she's gonna say, "Asshole's never met Jaraxel. If he did, he's bald, right? And he's got that dumb little hat.
And also,
Well, and
he's a 5 with a 8 personality.
Yeah, and also he like enters a room with his penis first. You really cannot miss him.
Nice.
I'm sorry, Olin. Don't listen to anything. And how old are you, Marty?
That was Mark laughing, by the way.
I am 57.
Oh, 57. Good age. Good age.
I love this
Thanks.
character so much.
Been it for, a little under a year.
Well, I've been 37 for like 14 years, so.
Didn't you say... Actually, no, never mind. I must have misheard.
Okay, you're good.
As you all are sort of being ushered on by the Minotaur, who will be like, move along. Will usher you all on, and in lieu of taking the door that Genevieve and Wallace took, basically to follow the road to enter the city, you will be ushered up a stone set of staircase.
Nice.
Ushered up a stone set of staircase to a small door, which, as you enter the door, you find yourself in a long and winding passageway lit by torches. Eventually, as you all enter in the door, Okeb the Minotaur will elect not to squeeze himself through the door, but Zodge will, Captain Zodge will keep waving you on and will check on you very constantly. Basically, you make your way through basically the walls of Worms Crossing. There's sort of passageways inside of the walls, and in the middle of Worms Crossing, there is a keep that sort of almost straddles the bridge that makes up what is now this sort of checkpoint almost. And as you are brought into this area, you can see that there is a number of basically like offices, war rooms, armories, things like that. Zodge will beckon you on and will eventually stop at a door. This door is dark wood with a glass panel of frosted glass, and he will sort of, without knocking, just toss it open and will say, "Oh, James, I got a little something for you." And what you see on the interior as he tosses it open and enters, effectively uninvited, is a large, about 7 foot tall orc who is dressed in a collared shirt with the tie kind of undone. He has a glass with sort of ice and what you would assume would be whiskey or brandy on the inside. Behind him is a chalkboard with things sort of stuck to it, lines drawn, theories, things like that. And he'll say, "I caught me some..." First he'll be like, I thought I told you to knock. You gotta knock. You just can't come in like this." And all the while, you see the brandy glass slowly go under the desk. And Zodge says, well, but it's exciting. It's exciting, though. I got you some unlicensed adventurers.
Night, Dad.
Good night, Dad.
Good night.
I'll use this as a excuse to go grab a drink. I'll be right back.
All right,
First good nights out
of the game.
campaign, guys.
Gonna have to go back and rehear what Jason said because I was busy writing it. It went right over my head.
You see, that's why I'm having problems with notes.
Which part?
The part where Silk has got Jaraxely profiled.
Oh, he said, I love what you did with something Jaraxel.
Oh yeah, with King Battlehammer.
That's what it is, yeah.
No, he said, sorry about what happened to your
Oh, sorry about what
friend
happened.
King Battlehammer, Jaraxel.
Mhm.
Very much a sorry about Barack kind of deal.
Oof.
God,
Fuck
I want
this
to kill
place.
this guy so bad.
Jason is
Mm.
having the time of his life right now,
Oh, he's having so much fun.
and I am
he-
down for this.
That is true. I am having a excellent time.
Yeah, time of my life.
Oh god.
A cab.
Hey,
Hey Cab.
If there
ACAB.
like literally if there is a message from this like opening block that launches the campaign, that is exactly it. Okay. With that being said, he'll say, well, it's very exciting. It's very exciting. I got you something that I know you're gonna like. Well, something that isn't quite right. I found some more unlicensed adventurers. And you'll see the orc sort of just rub his temple. Are they actually adventurers? Well, I mean, I think so. And, honestly, and he'll sort of motion you all to enter the office. Now, come on. Yeah. Well, look at that. And he'll just go ahead. Just give him your spiel. Just give him your spiel. And I'll do my best with this. And he'll just sort of put his hand in his palm, and Zaj will step forward and say, now, I know that adventurers right now pretty high in demand. There's all sorts of stuff happening all up and down. Like, the death curse, it's resolved, but is it really resolved? Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that y'all are going to help Inspector O'Sullivan over here. And if, you do a fairly good job, I will pay you the sum of 500 gold pieces each. We just want to find out who the hell is behind all this cult activity and make it stop. It's bothering me, if I'm honest.
I appreciate the offer, but I am not an adventurer.
Ooh, well, all right. Well, that's fine. Well, if you're not interested, we are gonna have to hold you until we can get your paperwork looked at. Which I mean, there's such a backlog. I don't know how long that. But that's not a problem. That's not a problem. If you're not interested, we can make some accommodations. Inside of our holding facility to make sure that you have as comfortable a stay as possible.
Okay, real quick. So if we do this, we'll get adventuring license, right?
Oh, well, I'm talking about departments having, having a little bit of a backlog. That department don't have no backlog. I get you a license right now.
Okay, and that license, will that come with life insurance? I do have dependents, and right now the life insurance from Luskin ain't cutting it.
I would have to get with our HR department on what our actual benefits are. As you can imagine, most people who are in this type of situation don't necessarily ask that question.
Well, I've not the first time I've been in this situation. I'm just looking out for my future. I don't really have a choice here. I can't sit around, and I definitely don't have the privilege of sitting in a jail cell longer than 10 minutes. And it's
Um,
definitely
it will get us passage into the city, correct?
That's where the cults are doing the murders. Ain't that right, O'Sullivan? Yes, that's right. That's right.
Well, I suppose I will simply put myself nose to the grindstone as long as I can get that license in the next 24 hours.
Listen, if y'all are interested, I will leave you to have this conversation, and I will go get those licenses as quickly as possible. I will. First thing. They love me down in HR.
I'm sure they.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure they do.
And you'll get the benefits package, right?
Yeah, though I'm sure there's a matriculation period or something like that.
Well, I'm sure if you rush the licenses, we can also rush other things. What with the, you know, everything and the need for adventurers, and I'm pretty gung ho about adventuring. I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, I've never necessarily been put in this position before, but I will do my best.
All right. Yeah, you do that.
All right, well, you kids have a great time talking about how you adventurers are going to root out a cult. You have an outstanding day. I will be back. And he'll exit and slam the door behind him. And you
The
hear
Thanders.
he's like that. He's like that. I'm sorry that happened. It has not been the first time.
Olin's gonna
And
put his hand up.
Other ones die.
What?
Oh, sorry, I interrupted somebody. You know,
No.
Olin, you go first.
No, I want to hear this rant. Please continue.
He will pick up
No.
his glass of brandy and ice.
Olin's just gonna look at this orc and go, "Can I go back to my room now?"
Yes, but also no.
What does he mean?
So, Olin, we have inadvertently been voluntold that we are to do an investigation into cult activity if we want to get into the city and get the license that allows us into the city. Otherwise, you'll be put in holding for God knows how long, and you might have to face a minotaur. So, you can go to your room eventually. As it stands right now, you're part of an investigation.
We just got fucking gang pressed. This is conscripted, drafted. This is. Do you think he'd believe me if I told him that I can't because I've had a C-section? Do you think I can do that?
I mean, I
would-
have asthma.
I was 20 years retired and he pulled me back in. So.
Are you serious? How old are you?
Oh my God.
42.
Is there a Mrs. O'Sullivan?
Yes.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
she runs the Three Old Kegs. So if you're in town and need a place to stay, we can put you up. Her parents are a little much though. Just more.
Oh, parents.
Mr. O'Sullivan, is it possible for me to make a call?
A call?
Marty sort of like goes over to EB3 and says, "Excuse me, EB3," and will like lift up, will like reach, like rummage through the like carpet bag that it holds. I have a sending stone, that of someone in Baldur's Gate. Maybe they could vouch for me. I don't do adventuring.
Oh yeah, please feel free.
Okay.
Just I would stay inside the confines of this office for the time being.
Yeah. Oh boy, where is it? She will continue to look for it.
So, since we've go ahead, Jeremy.
No, please. I talk way too much.
Since we have been pulled into this investigation, do you mind if I take a look at your corkboard?
Yeah, sure. Take a look. Uh, we've been doing our best.
Now, Marty, what you can just do is go along with it and then just not do it. That's kind of what I plan on doing.
I'll be cautious with that.
Well, I'm
mean-
so sorry. Hypothetically.
Well, no, trust me, dude. Do whatever it is that you want to do. I'm just saying, Zodge has eyes everywhere. He wants, and he'll sort of. So, we're getting into. Zodge really wants to pick up Commander Porter's place if Commander Porter, Dillard Porter, not Liara, if he moves up to be the Grand Duke in the upcoming election because of Ravengard's absence, Zodge wants to fill his spot within the Flaming Crest. He's going a little hard right now.
Yes, I'm aware that there's a lot of vying between the various dukes for the position of Grand Duke in the absence of the original. Actually,
Just as a warning, he's gonna be keeping eyes out. So if you're not doing what you're saying you're doing, he might know.
have you also heard the rumors of Boleyn Stelmane, Mr. Sullivan?
Oh, yeah. My understanding is that she had a stroke. People are saying that it might be cult ritual induced. I don't really buy it, but
Well, people will do almost anything as long as it doesn't involve critical thinking.
ain't that true? Anyways, yes, have it the board. I've got a couple leads I'm following up on with regards to everything, and but yeah, if I can be of any assistance, let me know.
You mentioned, yeah, you just said leads. Can you, I've got horrible eyesight and I don't have my glasses with me. I'm not looking at that cork board. Um, you mentioned the leads. I've never done cult stuff. I mean, Luskin has a lot of cults. I'm not even going to pretend that it don't. Um, but they're kind of obvious about it. Like you just kind of stumble out, and it's like it's like just right there. They're ritually sacrificing something, but it's fine. Can somebody else talk so it's not just me filling the air?
Yes, I agree with Jeremina's comment. What do you have so far as leads?
All right, let's take a look, and he will turn to the board. Prior to that,
I gotta look at it.
Marty, are you making your call or are you holding it for now?
She will hold for now. Jeremina made a good point, and also there's probably not much that Niles can do in this situation anyways.
All right, fair enough. So, Inspector O'Sullivan, whose first name you learn is James, will tell you about the Cult of the Dead 3. The Cult of the Dead 3 is the primary cult that they are investigating here, and it made a resurgence after the Death Curse rose to prominence. The Cult of the Dead 3 references the three gods worshipped by the members of the cult: Bane, Micrel, and Baal. All three gods that have to do with death or murder. And Bane also specifically has to do with power. The leads that James has currently, there is 3 of them. One is at the Elf Song Tavern. He has a contact named Tarina who may have some information relating to where the cult is operating from. And then there is he has a contact inside a tavern known as the Blushing Mermaid, whose name is Nine Fingers Keen, who also may have a lead. And then there has been a rash of murders and disappearances around a statue known as the Maiden's Statue. In Baldur's Gate. And he will also go on to say, so that's what I've got in the city proper. Now, Little Kalimshan is a different story. They, from what I hear, haven't had anything in the way of, and he'll sort of like cult activity. It's all wrapped up. There's nothing there, but they know who I am from before I retired. And the mayor there isn't really fond of having the Flaming Fist around, and she knows I'm working for him right now, so it's not anything I can follow up on, but your fresh faces, you may be able to get in there.
So little Kalimshan might have information, and we might be able to make our way in there. Is the thing?
Yeah. So specifically, he's saying that like there's been like rashes of like murders and kidnappings and all of this cult activity and stuff happening inside Baldur's Gate. Little Kalimshan is right outside Baldur's Gate and has had none of those problems.
Also, was it Blade Fingers Keen? The other one?
9.
Nine
fingers.
Keen.
Yeah, 10 minus 1. Yep, and that was at the Blushing Mermaid.
Yep. But that's pretty much all I've got right now. Is I'm just trying to find out where these fanatics are coming from. Zodge would like nothing more than be able to roll up one of their safe houses or something. Looks good for him.
Do you think we're going to get paid as the investigation goes? Because this is going to be a massive time sink.
It doesn't seem like it. With the way Zod works, I'm pretty sure he's going to be holding out payment until we
Right.
solve the mystery.
Right. But only solve it in a way that makes him look good. It's all got to be big and beautiful and public and
Whole 9
what was
yards,
it?
yeah.
It seems just work is already so time consuming, and then this is going to be time consuming. Do you think I could get an advance? Depends on what the benefit.
Silka shakes his head.
I'll take the chance. I get paid weekly though. But
Maybe, yeah.
Is it good?
I guess I'm kind of on the top of this thing. No.
That's a shame.
That's fine. Again, my wife runs the 3 Old Kegs, so we got a fairly good revenue stream there. Though, admittedly, I'd like to get to the bottom of this cult thing because it would, help fill beds at the inn. Help put food on the table,
etc., etc. Yes.
Yes.
So true.
Anyways,
So, would you have any recommendations as to where we should start?
well, I've got those. Those are the 3 leads I'm working right now. I don't really have much outside of that. I'm doing the best with the manpower I have, which prior to all of you was me. So at this
Well,
point, the door
I'll do our best to help.
flies open once again, and well, look what I have here. Adventuring licenses. You can just fill in your names on the top. There you go. Oh, and here you go. And he'll sort of toss out these little leather folios on top of the adventuring paperwork, which one sort of falls open, and it is the crest of the Flaming Fist. But across it is like this black slash, which for those who have been in and around Baldur's Gate would you could tell would represent a someone who is like contracted to the Flaming Fist, so that they have like a little bit of authority inside the Flaming Fist, but they're not like specifically a member or a ranked person.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Not a problem. I'm so tickled to be working with y'all.
Tickled.
So tickled too. It's gonna be real great for us.
I'm sure you all are going to do great things. I hear nothing but good things about adventurers.
Yeah, well, which we are right now. Now I've got quills. You know what, Olin? You take my quill and my ink pot, and you fill out yours first. If you need any help, you let me know. I've done this before for my ex-husband. Sorry, I got to get used to saying that. So you just let me know if you need anything. Are you looking at me, Olin?
He's staring right at you. He goes, "Yes."
You let me know if you need anything.
Olin will just grab the feather, grab the inkwell, and just sign Olin. That's it.
No, you got to fill in your age, your date of birth,
Mhm.
your medical history.
Mhm.
Where do you live? Do you know your address? You got to fill that out right here too.
He writes the word temple.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of
This is
Sounds
the.
good to me.
All right. Well, Inspector O'Sullivan, do keep me apprised of the progress. I think this is going to be great for Baldur's Gate, great for the Flaming Fist, and very bad for the Cult of the Dead 3. Well, thank you all. I do have I have a meeting, so farewell. And he will slip out.
Bless his heart.
I fucking hate that guy.
Us too.
My goodness.
All right.
boy.
I'm assuming y'all don't know how to get out of here, so I'll walk you out. And
Thanks.
he
You're so
will
kind.
shepherd you all along through Worm's Crossing to navigate sort of the maze of offices and armories, and to then deposit you inside the gate of Baldur's Gate. And it is there where we will go ahead and take a short break. We'll be right back.
label away. We're not being sponsored.
And we're back. That
Hello.
was a rousing word from our sponsors, and we are now into the campaign proper. For those who are at the table, players, you can click the landing page button on the Foundry portal, and that will bring you to a map of Baldur's Gate.
Ooh.
All of the locations that are listed on this map are well-known locations. They are locations that you would very easily either know of or be able to find because you can see them. So now that we are done the intro, you guys have effectively been impressed into service by the Flaming Fist to investigate this cult activity because Captain Zodge thinks you guys are adventurers. Whether he actually thinks that or is just using that as an excuse, either way, the city is now open to you. This is the sandbox part of the adventure engaging. So with that, I will leave you guys to discuss amongst yourselves what it is you would like to do or see next, and then we'll go from there.
So first thing first, let's lay down some ground rules. My name is Jeremina. I'm a bitch.
Oh, that bitch.
What does that mean, a bitch?
So it's one, it's an insult. Two, it refers to a female dog. Three, it's basically my middle name. But it refers to someone who's very rude, and direct.
Okay.
It's you will watch me as I interact, and you will understand at some point, hopefully. But second of all, okay, as this thing continues, I think I do have a place. But let's make sure we meet up every morning at Three Old Kegs. Okay, just because you sleep at the temple. Marty's got a house, so he's got to go to his place. But let's make sure we meet up, okay? And if we ever get separated, that's where we meet up.
Mhm. I
Okay.
think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh boy. Good. I should probably take vacation time for this. This sucks.
Secondly, is anybody else hungry?
I could eat.
I'm famished.
I could also go for some food. It's been a minute. We were out in the rain for hours.
Yeah, I could eat.
Olin, can you eat?
Yes, I know how to.
Okay. Do you know that you're hungry?
Oh yes, no, I'm starving.
Okay. Do you have any allergies?
Uh,
Do you like meat? Do you like raw meat?
Owen like looks at her for a second, like, is this bitch stupid? Uh, and goes, no, I eat food. I'm good.
Okay. Oh, all right. But why don't we pick somewhere to go? Do we know where we want to go? Do we know where we want to go eat?
Well, why don't we start with the Three Old Kegs? We should find it, firstly, and establish that as the meeting point.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Well, let's. Can I bundle up under your umbrella, Marty?
Yeah, of course. Actually, I'm kind of short and you're kind of tall. So you could go under EV3s. Is that okay?
So, Kez, can I go under your umbrella?
Yes, Jeremina, you can come under my umbrella.
Okay, I'm gonna go under his. It's no offense meant. It's. I'm so sorry. You just really scare me. I'm so sorry.
He does have that effect on people. That's understandable. Like I tried to tell them that he's completely harmless, but they don't really believe me.
Ooh. Oh my god. It makes
I think you're-
sounds.
I think Jesus.
I'm so sorry.
I think you are very. I think you are a very good robot.
Oh. Yeah. Do you carry it with you everywhere?
Yeah. It he just sort of it just sort of helps me out. Short and also I kind of get out of breath easily.
Oh, that makes sense. You mentioned you had asthma. My cousin of mine had asthma real bad, and as she's talking, she's going to like steer the group towards three old kegs.
I understand that. My younger brother also had breathing problems when he was younger.
Well, it's gotten better now that I'm an adult, but it's it's been a long project of mine I've been working on, and I mean, having something to help out has been helpful.
Yeah, that's why I go
Right.
for tall men. My ex-husband was six even. So I just made him grab everything.
I mean, fair enough. Like, sure. Yeah. Man,
Yeah.
right? Clearly.
Yeah, man, love him. Do you
No.
know?
No.
Gotcha. No?
No.
That's good. That's really good. I support that.
I appreciate that. Thank
I
you.
also, yeah, I've been known to
No.
do that.
Oh, that's cool.
I imagine they're walking, and like Silkes is, at the back with Jeremina. And Jeremina is just like,
What about the other two of you?
I had a husband, and he was taken away by the death curse.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Olin? Do you have your eye on anybody?
Usually everybody I watch.
Oh,
What did I just implement? Fuck.
that, you know what? That's good. Not being picky. That's really good. Keeping your options open. Big fan of that.
Okay.
That's really good. That's really good.
As you all make your way across the city, engaging in the most rousing and awkward of conversations, you pass a couple notable monuments that are listed on the. So from where you guys were at the gate to where you were going, which is Three Old Kegs, there are a couple like notable things that you passed. The first one is the Wide. And what the Wide is it is a open air marketplace, which is overseen by a person known as the bailiff of the Wide. They're kind of like almost like a tax collector in a sense. And basically, what this place is it is a place for smaller merchants to come and set up a small stall and sort of pitch their wares without the need for a storefront. As you guys pass, it does seem very, very sparse. It's like this large, wide open space. and there are not that many vendors. It does seem like either the death curse or just the situation with the cults in general has sort of kept vendors home or made them not want to vend in the space. And then just outside of that, as you guys are closing in steadily on Three Old Kegs, there is this alien, strange architecture-looking building that just sort of juts up from the streets of Baldur's Gate, and it is a wizard tower, which has sort of very, very distinct architectural style from everything else that's happening. Most of the buildings here in Baldur's Gate are sort of like very boxy, European, almost industrial looking. This looks like a space needle almost, like it has concentric rings that wrap around basically like a tower that shoots towards the sky. Folks that live here would know that this is Ramazith's tower, and Ramazith is a eccentric wizard who is not often seen outside of his tower, and there are varying explanations as to what he looks like. There's things that suggest he's a old man with a wispy beard that sort of drags underneath him, and then there's another segment of people that you've talked to who probably think that he's like 30 and flirty. Like there's just a bunch of different explanations for what this guy looks like, but this is where he lives. It's a magical tower. So anyways, after passing Razimith's tower, you guys go another 2 blocks and you come upon the Three Old Kegs. The Three Old Kegs is a mid-size inn and tavern. It has sort of a front that looks as though it's almost castle-like. You can tell that it kind of has a little bit of sort of rustic hunting lodge theming going on to it. In the center of sort of the front, like I said, looks almost castle wall-ish. Then there's sort of a tower rising up from the middle, which is not necessarily a castle tower so much as it is just a boxy building. The front looks open and inviting. It does seem like there have been some very recent changes to the structure in the positive way. A very fresh banner in actual fabric that says the Three Old Kegs sort of hangs across the front of it. And yeah, that's Three Old Kegs.
Are y'all gonna have
You
trouble
know-
getting? Oh, you go first, Silkez.
I was just going to say, I completely forgot how much theming goes into a lot of Baldur's Gate buildings.
What do you mean?
Well, the Wizard Tower, other taverns around Baldur's Gate have themes more often than not.
Yeah? Is that not... I thought that, like, Neverwinter was just boring. Is that not, like, common?
No.
Luskin's got 2 taverns, and one's run by a mercenary band. That's as much theming as you get.
Oh. Oh, that sounds... I'm sure, it must be very exciting coming to Baldur's Gate, then.
That's one word for it.
Yeah, getting the racism done on me, not great.
Oh, well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Excited's a really strong word for what
Oh,
that was.
yeah, yeah. I meant more in the sense of seeming all the themed restaurants. But yeah, that sure is an issue here in Baldur's Gate too. Huh.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Marty girl, don't worry. All right, I'm not behooving you or anything. Just you gotta be chill. All right, who wants to walk in first?
I'll do it.
All right, you do look better than me, so I'm a little upset about that.
He looks he looks at himself and he's like, I just down for the occasion.
Oh, dress down. Well, that's great. Yeah.
He walks in.
All right. Let me go ahead and.
Ooh.
Ooh.
We get a map.
There we go. I can see, maybe.
All right. So, you all walk into the front of the three old kegs. The three old kegs. It's a very warm interior. It does have a hunting lodge style aesthetic to it, and as you enter, there is a large, long table sort of across from the entrance, and you enter in on what seems to be a very nice, plush, potentially imported carpet. The table that is all the way across on the other side has a older couple sitting at it. They are their skin is like green and blue. For those of you who are well traveled, you would recognize them as Tritons. And as you sort of pan your vision across the bar, the first thing you notice is that there are four large kegs behind the bar, which is
That's bullshit.
distinctly different from the name and theming of the establishment, which ridiculous. But there does not appear to be a barkeep behind the tavern, or sorry, behind the bar currently. But otherwise, yeah. Well, and the Triton couple appears very long in their years. They're very old.
Swear there's 4 kegs.
Yeah, why are there 4 and not 3? It's their whole thing. They even got a banner. They could have replaced if they got a new banner, they could have said 4 instead of 3.
Well, 4 old kegs doesn't sound quite as catchy as 3 old kegs, now does
Yeah,
it?
but it's their whole thing. Why would they have 4 kegs when they could just have 3 kegs and then put the 4th one out of eyesight?
Yeah, it's kind of really faux pas.
Really? Yeah, really. Really? Anyways, I want to see what James O'Sullivan's wife is. Do you think she's, you know?
Uh-huh. No?
What?
What do you mean?
You got it.
Oh,
I'm kind of hoping that,
and the
Jeremina, I
pineapples?
cannot condone this.
of course.
I understand desperate times call for desperate measures, but invading on a happy couple crosses a new line of desperation.
We don't know that they're happy. He's working long hours. And she's over here running this tavern by herself with her old parents. Alone.
Wait a second. Silkez looks over at the Triton couple and he says, "Do you think those are her parents?"
Do you think voices carry in here?
Oh God. Okay. Olin,
Yeah.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Fuck.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
begun.
Well, he's the rogue, so
Good thing Olin.
Yeah, I
is
know. Of course, it would be
good.
the rogue that gets the dexterity saving throw. But...
It's okay. It's perfectly fine. Saving throw.
First roll of the game?
Shit.
Oh, that was the first roll of the
Average.
game.
oh boy.
I'm in the
Okay.
middle,
Never for
guys.
the first roll.
So, as you all are having this discussion and trying to determine whether or not sounds carry in here, you hear a bellowing, echoey voice that, well, bellowing might. It's a faint voice, a small voice who is trying to bellow, and you hear it scream, "Be vanquished, evildoer!" And there is the sound from above you, and Olin, you feel a sort of pop on your head, and a potted plant has struck you on the head, and you look up and you see a young girl who has sort of tossed this potted plant down at you, and then you see her sort of toss her hands in the air and will sort of exclaim, "Look at me! I am Penelope Erickson! Hear me roar!" And at which point, then you will hear a woman's voice shout, "Elrin, you can't be doing that! You're going to scare away the customers!" And there's sort of you just hear the little girl sort of clamber down and start like running. You can hear like the footsteps, like the chase sequence that is occurring at the floor above you.
Overworked, watching the kids by herself.
Owen's gonna rub his head and go.
Oh, are you okay?
She has good arm.
Oh, yes.
Here, if you lean down, I can take a look at it. I'm
Okay,
trained in
and
Well, why don't we? Well, don't lay down on the floor.
I don't care.
Hey, get him to a table. Get him.
Yeah,
Oh,
get up.
He'll
Olin.
take the ponytail out and just like get on one knee and lean his head down for her.
Oh, come on.
Olin.
God, there's dirt like everywhere, all over. This is imported.
yeah. That's like actually a good point. Here. Oh, then let's go over to one of the tables over there. Well, hold it. Is it? Okay. Yeah. Go.
Yeah, go. I'm gonna fix this. The dirt and the clay, the terracotta, actually.
Mm.
Ugh.
Marty will sort of like lead Olin to a nearby table and we'll take a look.
Yeah, Olin follows, literally confused of why this is such a fuss about a floor, but okay.
Okay, let me take a look at it and
We
to like
Catholic.
check him out, make sure he's, not injured.
Is there like a bell on the bar anywhere?
There is, yes.
Silkes will walk up and will ding.
Just as you do, from sort of around the corner, which you would measure is probably where the stairs are to upstairs, a sort of middle-aged Triton woman comes sliding sort of to the end of this hallway and says, "I am so sorry about my daughter. She loves playing pretend. She can get very excitable. I do apologize for your friend. Let me get you some drinks on the house. Are you looking to stay?"
Yes.
Again, so sorry.
It's
Olin just waves her off and goes, "She has good arm. It's okay."
yes.
That is unfortunately true.
We were told that we might be able to get a room here by your husband. We've been contracted by the captain, for lack of a better phrase.
Oh, well, yes, of course. Anything that'll help James get that job done, get him home. Let me get you some keys and some drinks for your trouble with the plant.
Not a problem, but do you mind if I ask your name?
Valethrin, but you can call me Rin.
Rin?
Rin, R-Y-N.
Rin.
Full name, Valethrin Nolavath O'Sullivan.
Same.
Thank you. But take your time. I understand you are the only one here at present, so it's no worries.
Well, I appreciate that, and I will get those we'll get those drinks right up. How many?
Marty, do
Four?
you drink? Wait.
If I could have a tea, that'd be helpful. We were out in the rain a lot.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness. Yes, let me put a kettle on.
And
Thank you.
Olin, do you drink?
Yes.
Like alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's going to be 3 drinks, 1 tea.
I will get right on that. and she will go ahead and sort of disappear back into the kitchen to put the kettle on.
I forgot to ask her where her trash can was. And Jermina's just like holding to her chest like all the piled dirt and like the clay dirt.
Olin will offer to take it from her.
Oh.
I'll go put it over there. It's fine.
Actually, you could just put it in. I have a small junk pile going in my carpet bag.
This is dirt and clay.
Oh, well, it's a bag of holding. It has like its own like little void space.
I'm just gonna put it outside.
That works too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, and she'll walk outside, stand off a little bit, and then return back inside.
Olin actually tries to see where the little girl went.
So if you look up at the balcony where she tossed the plant from, you're not able to see her. Based on the running around, you would probably guess that she was in some way wrangled by her mother and was like either placed in her room or something like that. So she's probably up somewhere on the second floor.
Okay. He'll take out what looks to be a black bishop piece, and he'll start mumbling to himself in Actually, I forgot to ask you this question. Would he know Barovian because it's a natural thing to him?
Hmm.
He'll start speaking in Barovian. He'll start talking in Barovian.
All right.
Stage whisper, fish. Stage whisper.
What the fuck is up with this kid?
He has no memory of who he is, Jeremina. He's gonna have strange quirks that you might not understand.
Well, I'm sorry. Do you know this kid's life story?
I know he has amnesia, and that pretty much.
How do you know he has amnesia? Has
Olin?
he has amnesia?
Olin, how did you discover your name?
He will take out his dagger, and it'll be etched right on the blade just above the handle. And it'll say Olin.
Ooh, that's gorgeous.
Did you know it before that?
No. And he'll still have a natural smile.
And how old are you? Jeremina asked you earlier, but she didn't get an answer from you.
I don't know.
Silkez just looks at Jeremina.
All right, here we go. 3 drinks and tea.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
It is the least I can do. If you are helping James, you are helping me.
What is the drink that she dropped off?
They are ales poured from one of the 4 kegs.
He'll drink half of it and go, "Good water. Thank you."
Oh, that's ale. Olin.
It's not water, Olin.
Oh, sorry.
Also, I would slow down.
It tastes fine.
Trust me.
Mrs. Ran. I'm so sorry.
No, it's
Can we also get food?
Sure. Generally speaking, due to the fact that it's just me, usually we run on a pretty tight schedule when food comes up here for guests. So usually, it's a breakfast, lunch, and dinner thing. But I might have some leftovers from lunch that I can.
Oh, that's fine. Do you guys order? Can we get food sent here? Is that a thing that you guys do here?
Yeah, if you have a place that you prefer.
Well, when's dinner?
2 or so hours from now.
Okay.
I'm not waiting that long.
I
Understandable.
have my packed lunch. I was going to have it later, but you can have it if you want. Made it myself.
I'm good. Do you have any places you suggest, Marty?
I am. This isn't my usual section of Baldur's Gate. Miss Rin will probably have a better suggestions.
Mrs.
Well,
Ren, do you
Miss-
have any suggestions?
Well, I mean, if you eat here, it's included. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for any particular style of food experience,
Actually, I don't know if this would be allowed because, sanitation laws. But if y'all are, if you guys are short-handed, I could help whip something up together.
oh, if you're helping James, you're helping me. The kitchen is open to you, unless there's flaming fist soldiers here.
Of course.
Oh, perfect.
EV3, off we go.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna go out for a walk and get something.
All right. Olin looks like he's stuck with me for a little bit.
While I'm out, do you guys want anything, or do you just want me to pick?
If we're allowed in the kitchen, I might make myself something. So, Olin, do you have any preferences?
No, not really.
All right, I'll go get extra bread for him. Thander willing, he's gonna need it. Marty, do you want anything while I'm out?
It looks like they're sort of running low on paprika, so if you want to get that, that'd be helpful.
I'm going to like a sandwich shop, not a general store.
Then I should be okay though.
All right.
Olin, it is at this moment you feel as though there is a presence hovering behind you.
He will quickly snap and turn around. Hand on his blade.
There is a old in her years Triton woman standing behind you, and she sort of leans down. You're a handsome young man.
He's going
Have
to
a wife.
He's going to slowly take his hand off the blade so it doesn't look like it was on it. No.
Too bad. You'll have to come to the water house with us. I have some introductions to make. And she will then hobble off.
He's gonna look at Silk as what did she say?
She called you handsome and basically offered to find you a wife.
What is that?
Oh, you've got amnesia. Okay. A wife is someone you marry, whether for love or for tax purposes, and
Love or
it's just a
tax
partnership.
purposes. My God.
It's true.
And it's a mutual partnership, hopefully based on respect, at the very least.
So he's gonna say something that you don't understand, but basically he's saying, "Oh, marriage," but he says it in Barovian. Oh, we have that. I understand that.
I'm going to assume you said either wife or marriage in whatever language it was you just spoke.
Yes.
But to be clear, wife is the person, marriage is the partnership.
And he'll just nod his head.
Okay, cool.
All right.
That's-
And
unless you are interested in finding a partner, gently turn her down.
He'll look towards the old woman and go, "No, thank you."
all right. And with that, that is where we will leave our heroes, having established themselves in the hub of their new sandbox that is Baldur's Gate.
Oh,
Investigate the cult of the Dead 3 and what exactly is going on in Baldur's Gate that has caused sort of this political upheaval. Is a little short one to start off, but I think that it's important for us to have a post game chat as well as not lean too heavily into brand new characters. So I think that overall we are at a good starting point for next week, where I mean, effectively the campaign will really kick off. And I appreciate everybody that tuned in, and I am looking forward to DMing this campaign. It's going to be fantastic.
It's gonna get nuts.
And we
Bye.
look forward to playing it.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you everybody.
Have a good
Enjoy
night.
this word.
Bye, Jay. I love you.
Brought to you by DraftKings.